Hi guys, and welcome to the first video of my channel Profit Cycles. I've been trading since a few years now, and I'm really interested in the markets, keep up with some news and check some charts I'm interested in. And I thought, as a little side project, I start a YouTube channel, mainly to discuss ideas with some friends, to be able to share some ideas I have and to summarize the ideas I have and the things I see in the market, but maybe also check in with some viewers and discuss some ideas with some viewers to maybe learn and grow together on this investing and trading journey. In general, there's a few methods that I found over the years are working really well for myself. There's a lot of really complicated indicators and functions, and I think, or at least for me over the years, some easy concepts really work better than more complicated ones. And basically, the main thing I look at nowadays is profit cycles. So the market usually works or behaves in cycles, and every asset class has different cycle lengths. And if you know the cycles and you know the cycle theory, it's useful and you have really an advantage over the market. And I combine this with the normal Fibonacci retracement theory. I found a really good book about it, and the combination of these two things is really powerful and helps to reduce panic, reduce uncertainty, and have some really nice and clear setups to make some trades and also long-term investments. I think I will do 2 separate videos about cycles and explain the concept and also the Fibonacci concept, so you have a little bit of information or more background information of how I use it. In general, I'm focusing on the crypto market mostly, but also the stock market and a few stocks and also the precious metal market. I think I will just go through the different charts that I think are interesting and quickly show you the setups and show you what I think is gonna happen or what might happen. And yeah, I hope you like it. Alright, so first of all we start with Bitcoin, and for Bitcoin you can observe pretty well kept cycles. It's a 60-day cycle for Bitcoin. I can show you here, I marked it with the green arrows. And in cycle theory, it's okay to have a deviation of 10% for the cycle length. So if you have a 60-day cycle, it's okay to have 66 days from low to low or down to 54 cycles. Here, as you see, this low is 60 or 59 away, and this one is 56. So they are both in the cycle range. What you can also mostly see is a half cycle low. For example, here between the green arrows, here might be this one, and also here in the new one might be one of this. So for the recent price action, we can see that we failed to break out of our high here, and counting from this low, we don't really know which of these two lows could be the cycle low, because here we have 56 days and here we have 66 days, so timing wise it's both legal, so I marked both to see later as it resolves which one is the correct count. And here I marked the mid-cycle lows, so 30 days from this one and 30 days from the other option. And as you can see here, the price couldn't really break out, so my general expectation is that we move in this mid-cycle window, half-cycle window, maybe get a little bounce out of here, and then find our daily cycle window here, and that's roughly the start of March and the end of February. And here you see the Fibonacci tool, and generally if you have a move, a full move, doesn't matter which time frame, every move tends to correct at least to the 0.382 Fibonacci up to the 0.618. So generally all moves that you find on charts at least retrace back to the 382, and you have also the 786 Fibonacci level, and if this level is broken, it usually signals that the low will also be taken. But I will also explain this a bit more in a separate video. So looking on the macro picture, from our low here, that also was a monthly cycle low. So if you tend to have 4 cycle lows, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, that form a monthly low, which is the next higher category of the lows. Yeah, and here for the whole move since August last year, 2024, till our all-time high, the Fibonacci retracements you can see here in the green levels, and I think, or it could be likely to visit the 382 at least as a normal retracement of this move up, which would not be anything unusual. So my expectation for Bitcoin is in the next month or until beginning of March that we just chop around in range. We find a half cycle low here, maybe we have some relief bounce, and then we go down and maybe touch our Fibonacci support. It's at 86,000 right now. The time frame is not quite sure, depending on which cycle is the correct one. But out of this, we should have some really nice opportunities also in altcoins to make some long trades. And also we can set the monthly cycle low. And it's important that this one holds, because if the price action reacts and goes up and then fails this low, then it looks actually a bit more grim, and the possibility that we have the top already in is there. But we can look what happens then, and I will make a new update video. Okay, then for the altcoins, I usually only look at some of the big ones, because I mostly, or my biggest positions are only the big altcoins. I think for this bull run, so far at least, it's been the best decision, or I've been a bit lucky. So XRP has a 30-day cycle, as you can see here, and it's also pretty consistent. So here you have 30 days, 31, together 58, 90. So it's pretty consistent in this 30-day cycles. And here I also drew a mid-cycle, 30-day, 30-day, 30-day. And as you see, we have a really nice impulsive price action up here. And now we're ranging for XRP. I really like that we had a wick down here and broke all the, or catched all the stop losses here. Took the liquidity down here. So that's a good sign. It could already resolve, but if Bitcoin chops or goes down for February until the end of this month, I think, or we can expect to have also a bit more chop in XRP. You see the Fib levels I drew up. I think it could be pretty likely that we tap this liquidity zone or the 618 Fib and go down here, maybe grab liquidity here and then start to go up again. But in general, XRP is looking really strong. Another coin that I'm looking at, or I'm holding also, is Sol. Interestingly, Sol followed a fractal of itself pretty closely, so I found that this fractal here applied until recently really close to the price. So you see I just copied it here, and up until here it followed the price almost perfectly. But now we deviated and we have a big range, breakout of the range, and a retest of the resistance that now flips to support. So macro is looking pretty good for Sol. And for Solana we also have 60-day cycles usually. So you can see it here, 60, and here about 120, and then 30-day half cycles. Just the last one was a bit too long. It was, I think, 70 days. but it can happen that it's a few days more. So Sol is currently trending down into the half cycle low, and our next daily cycle low is mid-March. So depending on the price action of Bitcoin, we could also see a little bit more down to the Bitcoin half cycle low, and also the Sol half cycle low, a bit of relief, and then also come down, maybe retest this resistance line again for the daily cycle low, and then hopefully resume to the upside. For Chainlink, it's interesting because Chainlink has a pretty consistent 80-day cycle, so the time frames might change from asset to asset. Here we have 90, here 70, so in total it works out 80, and the next one also 80. And I can show you this one, 70. So it's a similar setup to Solana actually. We have this resistance line we broke out, which is really good to see. And now with the half cycle low and the cycle low, half cycle low being also end of February, I could imagine we have some more drop. We maybe go down here to the 618, to this trend line, backtest it, and then we have a little falling wedge here, and then also depending on what Bitcoin or the general market does break out. Then another, or one of the only small coins I'm really interested in and holding is Curve, CRV, and it had a really nice move up, but failed to hold this level here and broke down. And we see that we are currently right inside a cycle low for Curve, for CRV, and the price action is also pretty precise. We have, let me check, I think it's around 25 days for CRV. Yeah. And we are currently in a cycle window for it, so I think we could see a little bounce out of here. We also tagged the 786 Fibonacci support, and we also have a liquidity zone here. So I think it might be possible to do a little short-term trade out of here. And we have to see what happens. The market is depending on what Bitcoin is doing, but we can have a little reaction up here, and in the worst case also catch the liquidity zone down here if we lose the 786 Fibonacci. Alright, then let me switch to the stock market. It's actually looking pretty good, a bit better than crypto and Bitcoin. We had a cycle low here on the 13th of January, and since then we went up, broke the all-time high, and now we're chopping. And I believe here that's the half cycle low. I believe we will have some more chop, and then maybe we can get a push out of here and find the daily cycle low, also beginning to mid-March. For SPY, I have some support lines that I'm watching. I hope that we can hold this support line. If not, and if we break some lows to the downside, then that's also, we have to keep that in mind for the crypto market and what's happening there. One other thing I think is interesting is the GameStop stock. Here you see James Rowland on X. Here's a pretty good indicator and has this trigger setup, and we see that we had a bullish trigger across, so the weekly trigger after years moved over the monthly trigger, and in GameStop they can result to really volatile upside movements, which can be really profitable. But we've broken down, we likely backtest the monthly trigger now, so we are in the move down maybe to the monthly trigger, and that fits really well to my analysis of GameStop. So I can show you this. Looks a bit wild, but I found for GameStop is GameStop is one of the stocks that have the most consistent cycles. I actually found two cycles that overlap for GameStop, and that's a 100-day cycle and a 45-day cycle, which are really accurate. You see the green arrows I've put here is the 100-day cycle for GameStop. You see here exactly 100 days. Here it's 102 days, and it's the 100-day cycle is always a major low for GameStop. So you see it here, 105 days, and here 109 days, which is also fine because it's still a 10% deviation. And we also have a 45-day cycle. So here 45 days plus minus 10%, 45 days, and so on and so forth. And right now, macro picture, don't be confused about Fib channels. We have a downside range, we broke out of this range, and now we have really explosive move up higher, low, higher low, and now we're working here also on a low and working on a higher low right now. And at the moment, the 100-day cycle and the 45-day cycle converge. So we are right now in a 100-day cycle window, and also here the smaller box is the 45-day cycle window, and we have a liquidity zone here. So it's a really nice setup, also together with the monthly trigger from James Rowland. And I'm looking to maybe have some chop here, go a bit deeper into this liquidity zone, and if we can break this downside resistance for 1 or 2 daily cycles, I'm pretty sure that I will take a long trade of GameStop, and I think we can target much higher numbers. But the setup with the 100-day and the 45-day cycle together with the support lines and the liquidity zone is a really nice setup to the upside. Last but not least, we have the gold and silver markets, which I'm looking at. Gold is really strong. We usually have a 25-day cycle, and right now the move is so strong that we only had one down day for the cycle low, and still plenty of time left. I could imagine that we find a high in a few days and then go down. Depending how high we could go, we could then retest the 382, which also will go up then. And finally, the last thing I want to look at is silver. It's also looking really good. I have some macro cycles for silver actually. Let me show you on the monthly time frame. Silver does really accurate 30-day cycles. So you have here 31, 32 and so on. And we're currently in a window of a 30-day cycle low here. So we might have our monthly cycle low already in and would be looking for a major upside move. I also found some nice Fib channels on silver that is respecting really well. And if you see here, it's broken out, retested, went to the next one. And currently we also, so this one was the resistance in 2010 for silver. And as you see, if we zoom in, we first tested it, broke out, retest, resumption. And here we have two of the macro Fib channels converging, and that's perfectly also in the range of our cycle low, monthly cycle low for silver. So I think here that's a perfect opportunity, and we can go long out of here, and I will build a massive silver position. Already bought some down here. Right now, shorter term, I'm looking maybe to have a back test here and increase the position. So silver is looking really strong. Alright, so that's the first video. I think I will be able to do the next one a bit shorter and get used to it. I try to make some explanation videos for the two techniques I use. I hope you liked the update, and I hope to see you in the next video. So have a nice day and see you soon. Bye bye.